shorty, we going where the destination is manifested. We learn how to collect reparations and invest it. I went from dressing the coldest to catching the COVID, to blessed with success to promote it to just go.
Yeah, buddy, you ready or not? Don't really care if you was or you wasn't, lil' bruh. From now on, I'm calling the shots. I don't really care about your hating, lil' daddy, LeBron. Your mammy's a pity. Anytime I get beside myself, I remind myself from. Think I gotta go through unlike therapy.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And not a good return at all. Down inside the 10, all the way back at the 7.
When you're on the road, the last thing you want to do is make a mistake that brings the crowd into it. Now you're not just battling your opponent, you're battling yourself as well.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now Mayfield. Looking sideline, incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Mayfield to throw it. He had a man open, but missed it when it's incomplete.
Third down is a key down in any game you play, and third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On the return is Williams. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Lions will take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. Off play action. Here's Goff. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2nd and 11 now. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And bulldozing his way through. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Gibbs is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Called a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This to Laporta, right side. Touchdown! Sam Laporta, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Here's Mayfield. Flushed out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this one caught downfield by Evans. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That play there was certainly a scouting report special because Cohen was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. Mayfield now. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Cade Otton, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Buccaneers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
Now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. In motion right, that's Williams. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he's able to get across midfield and down to the Buccaneer territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now a give to Gibbs, running left. And he's got this down to the 35. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Gibbs straight ahead. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The Lions at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance from the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They'll try the air now with Goff. Rolling to his right. The ball comes out, and this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
Gibbs again, but he will go backwards as he stopped for a loss. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown from 8 yards out, and the Lions have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 14-7. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
And got his man complete. Now he's loose down the middle of the field. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Chris Godwin, 82 yards. And the Buccaneers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
To throw is Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And that one not fooling anyone. It'll go down as a completed pass, but it will lose a big chunk of yardage. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Again, Goff. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And the Buccaneers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3. They run it again with Chubb. And he stopped immediately there. 3rd and 4. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Mayfield. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have the Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Mayfield looks to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They go play action. Mayfield. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Lions are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness, it's been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
And now look at this. Big gain by fumble. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Throwing, Mayfield. And this one is incomplete.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football. And now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
After another impressive run, the question has to be asked, how do you slow these guys down running the football? I think they're going to try and get more people to the point of attack, try and get more people to the line of scrimmage, almost use a variety of run blitzes in order to try and get it done.
Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They throw it out right complete. There's a nice move, and he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Hey, nothing to see here, just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And he takes this one in for the Lions. Touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Lions have retaken a 3rd quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
From the gun, Mayfield. Flush to his right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Steps away to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. This throw nearly intercepted. Oh, the big D lineman almost had it. But 3rd down coming up. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work. To hold things in check and force a punting situation.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Lions are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 95 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. And a guy that can change the game shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And they'll send Williams in motion right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Lions take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the... Pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. Escaping the pressure right. Looking downfield for Godwin. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Three quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 15-yard line. And again, it's Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Rachaad White, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Here's Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rachaad White from 4 yards out. And the Bucs have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. Mayfield going to try to throw for the two. Buying time, and he will get into the end zone as a two-point conversion is successful, and the lead is down to a field goal here in the fourth. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5. They'll set up a throw. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. To throw, Mayfield. Flush to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's been a nice day for him as a passer and as a runner. One of the few mistakes he's made in this ballgame. The wrong choice on that one. That one goes incomplete.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Mayfield down. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Buccaneers have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here. Oh, a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we're watching them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And 22 more yards there and another first down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Here's second down. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big third down. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 18. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's first and 10 now. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth. Wow. What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. They'll come up first and 10 here. Mayfield. And he can't get a throw. He's taken down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll come up now. This is second and long. Mayfield to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they...
This is caught inside the 15. And with 4 seconds remaining, they will call the timeout. So just enough of a cushion there to bring on the field goal unit and try to send this one to the extra session. And his kick is indeed good, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So the Lions, now they'll get the first crack at things here in overtime as we are back underway. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. All set up for them right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Another run for Gibbs here. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 146 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to him.
And now this first drive in OT continues. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 36 yards on the play.
Well, that certainly changes things here because they're in field goal range already, but a field goal, that's not what they're looking for now, not after that big play right here in overtime.
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout, but instead they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for Detroit, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.